This is the difference between the version of you that trains 6 days per week and has low testosterone and the version of you that trains 3 days per week with high testosterone. You're about to learn why testosterone is the most important factor to maintaining a good physique, developing sustainable habits, and to enjoying your life, having more time and training less. Believe me, I was someone who always thought that you needed to train more to see better results and that everything in life that is worth having, whether it's the good physique or even high testosterone, relied on hard work. That's just not the case. You need to nurture testosterone. It's there to be taken care of, and you can glide towards the outcome rather than force it with brute force by working hard. Your body responds better to certain things and negatively to other things, and this video is going to break some beliefs that you have that are very limiting and keeping you working hard and seeing less results, while people like me work less hard and see better results. So why is testosterone important in this sense? So here's a little backstory. I used to be an MMA fighter who trained 6 days a week, and that's what you can see in that first picture. Now that included hard training, weightlifting, sparring, loads of cardio, and eating about 2,000 to 2,500 calories a day. I was always in a calorie deficit. In theory, I should have been ripped, but you know why I wasn't? Because my hormones were way off. My testosterone was low, my sex drive was low, my body wasn't burning fat and it was wasting muscle, hence why I looked like a skinny potato. However, now I am training 3 days a week and my testosterone is well into the 1,000+ range, which means that my body is in the most optimal state to gain muscle and lose fat simultaneously. And in fact, that's exactly what I did. I went from weighing about 79 kilos after stopping fighting, being skinny fat, to now weighing 78 kilos with a completely different physique. So I didn't cut, I didn't bulk, I just changed my body and changed my hormones. So why is testosterone actually important? Well, have a look at some of the top athletes in the world, or even top models in the world. Let's look at some Hollywood actors like Brad Pitt, Daniel Craig, or even people like Henry Cavill. These guys are in great shape. Now, some of them take steroids, some of them are natural. Point is, they have high testosterone either way. You don't get to have a great physique if you've got low levels of testosterone. You can't cheat the system. Biology is designed in a way where if you have low testosterone, your body is going to be out of shape because you're not designed to be a killer. You're designed to be weak. You're designed to look like a woman as far as the world and nature is concerned. It's a harsh truth, but it's true. So why is testosterone actually important? Why do all these great looking guys all have high testosterone? Well, there's a number of reasons. Testosterone is the elixir for men. So not only does it apply to your physique, but it also applies to your mentality. But we're going to go over the physical aspects first. First of all, it increases fat oxidation. So your body can now burn more fat effectively. It effectively turns white fat cells into more metabolically flexible fat cells that can be used, especially those stubborn fat cells around your midsection, your love handles, your lower belly and your man tits. When you have high estrogen and low testosterone and high cortisol, those areas are inaccessible, and that is why you end up with a physique that has stubborn fat. It improves protein synthesis, which is how your body uses protein to build muscle. So this is in direct correlation to testosterone production, and hence why when people take steroids, they gain a huge amount of muscle, or when they have naturally high testosterone levels, they gain more muscle while simultaneously losing fat. And bear in mind, when you gain muscle and lose fat at the same time, your body is now more metabolically active, so you burn even more fat. It also skyrockets your recovery. However, I'm going to go into this because some people actually mess up their testosterone by training too much. And there's a reason why certain athletes can train ridiculous amounts, like MMA fighters, because they're taking steroids and PEDs. Now, for a natural person, you want to be training less so you can recover more and maintain higher levels of testosterone, so your training means more and is more effective. It also improves your muscle density. Now, you have big muscles, which are going to be full of water essentially. It's a different type of hypertrophy. This is known as sarcoplasmic hypertrophy, which is what most bodybuilders use. Yes, it looks good. Is it really that efficient? Not really. But then you've got myofibrillar hypertrophy, which is totally different, a bit more functional, and that is what increases muscle density and the actual hardness of your muscles, right? And this is what high testosterone is linked to as well. You ever seen those guys that walk around the gym and they're big, but they just look really puffy? You feel like you could just go and like squeeze them and their muscles will be really soft. Well, that's because they do too much sarcoplasmic hypertrophy and they've built size through eating an excess amount of calories, but they haven't got that much hard, dense muscle and their testosterone is probably lacking. So why is low testosterone linked to more training? So when you have low testosterone, your body has a very weak signal of protein synthesis, meaning you need to train more to get the same level of muscle gain. But then by extension, this is spiking inflammation, spiking cortisol, leading to more problems with testosterone and thus making the problem worse. So you get addicted to cortisol and addicted to the cycle of training. This is why guys get addicted to this whole thing of overtraining and they can't break out of the cycle. But they trick themselves into thinking they're just working harder than everyone else. But in reality, they're slowing down their own progress. It's like digging a mine and digging the wrong way, thinking you're working harder than everyone else. Meanwhile, someone is digging twice as slow as you, but they're going straight towards the gold. You also, as a result, experience less drive. You probably don't have the energy to go and have sex with your girlfriend afterwards. Everything starts to fall down when you overtrain. And when you have high testosterone, you can get away with 3 sessions a week because everything is so optimized. And that's what's going to actually help you burn more fat, help you gain more muscle, and save you a fuck ton of time. Not to mention cortisol is those fatty areas, like I mentioned earlier, around the man tits, the lower belly, and the love handles, which is a pain in the ass to get off. And most of you who are stuck with stubborn fat, it's because you have high cortisol and you aren't doing the right things to reduce cortisol and increase testosterone. Things like not having coffee on an empty stomach in the morning, fixing your circadian rhythm, doing cold showers in the morning too. These are all things that add up. But if your strategy is to just train more, you're basically leaving all these things on the table, and that's why you're falling behind. These guys who are top Hollywood athletes are not training all the time. They're optimizing things and training at the right times and then seeing the best results. When you've got the high testosterone, your lifts are going to be better. You're going to see better results in the gym. So when you do train, it's 10 times more efficient. You can lift more weight and you're going to see faster progress. As well as the calories that you do eat go straight to muscle rather than storing more fat, because your body is not in a state of scarcity like it is when you have high cortisol and you're doing extreme training and extreme diets like I used to be doing when I was training MMA. And believe me, if I was doing MMA now, I would perform better because my hormones are better. I was training so much that I was tanking my hormones, and then on fight day I felt like shit, especially after a weight cut. And that is going to lead to poor performance. But the high testosterone physique is essentially a dense, hard, low fat, high muscle mass physique. Meanwhile, the low testosterone physique is skinny fat, soft, doesn't really look different regardless of the weight changes, and that is where most of you are stuck. And believe me, there are people that have been training 8 years and do not look like they've been training 8 years. I've been lifting weights for 1 year, actively trying to gain muscle and improve my physique for 1 year. And for 1 year, I think I've done pretty fucking well, considering the time before that was working construction and doing MMA and eating whatever with bad hormones and no structure. This is the power of testosterone and how fast it can act. I've never taken any TRT. I've never done anything unnatural, not even any peptides. I've only taken Tonga Ali, creatine and boron, as well as an optimized diet. So let's talk about outside the gym and how this is going to affect you. Well, first of all, confidence, right? High testosterone is linked to confidence and vice versa. Also emotional control, being seen as higher status, not getting nervous about silly things. When you walk into a gym and you feel anxiety, that is your low testosterone anxiety talking. When you're high testosterone, you don't have anxiety, you have excitement, right? You enjoy these things that are challenging. As Andrew Huberman said, high testosterone makes effort feel good. And believe me, that is a great feeling. It gives you a lot of power in life where the things that most people find hard, you find easy. Think about how that could impact you. Libido goes through the roof. We all know what testosterone does, right? When you have high libido, your girlfriend is going to like you a lot more. You're going to enjoy life a lot more. And when you've got the discipline to not engage in things like masturbation and porn, you're going to have no problems finding a partner. Expect mental clarity as well. Mental clarity, being able to talk without stuttering, without fucking up your sentences, having the confidence to talk, like I am in this video. If I tried to make this video a year ago, I'd be all over the place. The brain fog would be ridiculous. Right? High testosterone is linked to decision making, hard decision making, and being very decisive. Right? And that's also an extension of testosterone and DHT together, which are linked. Right? DHT is an extension of testosterone, and it's equally important. But that's for another video. DHT is to do with your thyroid, to do with your diet, and that is part of things that are optimized. You can have high testosterone and low DHT, but it's not easy to do. You're going to naturally become a leader. You're going to be more disciplined. You're going to feel like making the right choices. Now, this is why when I provide my coaching, it is not under the guise of a regular fitness course, right? This is a transformation for you and your whole identity. You can expect to see more success in life, more success in your job, in your relationships. You are going to essentially be a whole new person. This isn't a light transformation because hormones are what make you. And most importantly, you're going to get competitive. And once again, if I had this mindset when I was fighting, I would do a lot better because I had that drive to be competitive. When I used to fight, I had no competitive drive. I was drained. I was fucked by the end of a fight camp because my hormones were so messed up. And I was just doing it running off knowledge basically and muscle memory, which is not where you want to be in a fight. You want to win, you want to have that competitive advantage, and that's why so many fighters take steroids. But in the case of not being a fighter, if you're just a regular person, think about how that competitive advantage is going to benefit you in life when it comes to getting girls, when it comes to making money, it comes to getting a better job, having good friends, having high standards for yourself. These are all things that matter. Especially when you combine that with proper training, more time now that you only have to hit the gym 3 days a week and your physique looks fucking great. So overall, guys, it's not the workload, it's the hormones that matter. You can do as much training as you want and you won't see results. I have guys that reach out to me saying this all the time. I'm training so much and I'm not seeing any progress, and it's because their hormones are not dialed in. Now, to dial in your hormones, you need to have everything right with your diet and lifestyle. It's not as easy as just cutting out processed foods. You also need to get the right sleep. You need to have the right rhythms in place. You need to have the right training. Okay, these are all things that add up, and it doesn't take a lot to ruin it and unravel it, but you need to build the habits that are going to last you forever, because life is going to throw curveballs at you. Fortunately, when you have high testosterone, you feel disciplined and you're more likely to stick to a plan that is already established. But the plan has got to be established in the first place. That is why I offer one-to-one coaching. I have slots available now. The link to book a call is in the description, or you can message me directly on Instagram and we will see if you're a good fit for the program, and we will see about potentially getting you on board. So overall, guys, testosterone is an absolute game changer. This is the reason why you should go for high testosterone. It's not a little side effect. It's not something that is a result of getting fit. It's the reason you get fit. It's the thing that causes you to actually change your physique. Some guys do it without realizing, but most of you are stuck, and the testosterone is the bottleneck. It's the thing that needs to change for you to actually see a breakthrough in results. A lot of you are hardworking already. You have a good mindset, a good job, a good frame in life, but you don't have the hormones, and that's why you're not seeing the results. And that's why it feels like your physique right now is not lining up with your mentality. So to do that, the hormones is the bridge to that gap from your physique to your mentality. Your mind is good, your physique is not. So hormones need to improve to fix that. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next video. Drop me a follow on Instagram if you came from YouTube. If you come from Instagram, subscribe.